Anyone else find it funny or even a little strange that the second Kentucky added laws for, equality in child support and custody cases during divorce, the suddenly rates dropped 25%? It's almost like a lot of these women were only filing for divorce because they knew that they were going to win no matter what the circumstances were, right? Like, you could literally be a cheating tramp that has kids with other men, and you're still going to get half.
All right, people. Welcome in. I am your host, Say One's History, and you are tuned in to the male's perspective, where in a world full of content, it's all about how you see it. And on this channel, we're going to take a closer look to see what's really going on from a different perspective, but I mean, from the male's perspective. So, with that being said, I'm glad you're here. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Anyone else find it funny or even a little strange that the second Kentucky added laws for, equality in child support and custody cases during divorce, the suddenly rates dropped 25%? It's almost like a lot of these women were only filing for divorce because they knew that they were going to win no matter what the circumstances were, right? Like, you could literally be a cheating tramp that has kids with other men, and you're still going to get half. Not anymore. Now it's like, all right, we got to look at the case and see who's actually better for the kids, who can, has a place to provide for them and can actually, give them a stable environment. Not, okay, well, you got a pussy, so you get the kids, and well, since the man works, he's gonna pay for it.
And guys, shouldn't it have always been that way? Because if we want to do what's best for the kids, then we want to do our due diligence as a court to actually see which parent is better for the kid. But because the mother is the mom, she's going to automatically get custody. That's wild to me. Just thinking that we were in, such a draconian law like that, where and still are in many of the majority of the states in the United States of America, we're still like that. Kentucky is paving the way, okay? And it's interesting to me because all of this stuff is starting to happen where women in the courts are finally starting to listen to men, and it's not because they actually had a change of heart and did what's best. It's because they're losing people. And they're looking at it like, hey, we either suck this up and deal with this money loss now with this child support, or the people in this country are not going to have kids. And we're not going to have anybody to pay taxes for my big mansion in the future. Check it out. You see what I'm talking about.
All right, they did this in Kentucky. The Fayette Company attorney is no longer taking child support cases. So yeah, for those who actually think child support, it'll never go away.
Right.
Here you have another example of it's going away, and they're like, yeah, but the government makes too much money. Well, child support only makes the government a little bit of money now. You know what makes the government more money? Many humans later. And the big problem with child support is because the way the child support system works, men do not want to have children, period, end of story. Women no longer want to have children, period, end of story. Mm-hmm. And because nothing is encouraging you to have children, there is no one to pay the future taxes of the politicians because it's all about them. It's always about the bottom line in their wallet. So if they take away child support, that means people will stay together, have more expendable income, and spend more money to pay more taxes. This also means that people who stay together tend to have more children, which means there's more people for the future. The problem is everybody says it won't happen. It is happening. So if you want to live in a state of denial, live in a state of denial. But if you're one of those women who lives on child support, it's time to be strong and independent. Get a job, pay your own bills without any help, And if you would like help with the child, I would suggest telling him that he must watch his own child 50% of the time and help.
You guys, I find it funny, and this is a side note, because I find it funny that if you, regardless of what country you guys stay in, that a lot of countries usually follow similar models, and we talk about how America's great or China's great or Russia is great. We all follow a very similar model. And whether, a country is ahead in one particular topic or the other is just debatable. And I'll give you an example of what I'm saying here. China, 30, 40 years ago, maybe 50 now, actually started the one-child policy, and it was going great for them. There was more housing for people, more food for people, but it overcorrected. And now China and a lot of other Eastern countries are in a position right now where they want more people to actually have kids. I think it was going on where I think it was in Japan or somewhere there, where they were actually paying people to come over and have kids, giving them all kinds of tax credits. Can't make it up. So it's just interesting to me that we are finally catching up here in the States. And it's funny because it's just as the sun will rise in the east, it sets in the west.
Do you know one state accidentally discovered the secret to saving marriages by changing custody laws? In 2018, Kentucky became the first state to make joint custody the default in divorce cases. Instead of bitter winner-takes-all custody battles, courts now start with equal shared parenting time. The result? Kentucky's divorce rate dropped 25% from 2016 to 2023. That's way better than the nationwide decrease of just 18%. Here's why it works. Parents no longer fight dirty because neither faces losing their kids. The financial games disappeared overnight. No more weaponizing children for bigger settlements. Experts say couples now work harder on their marriages because shared custody means they'll still need to communicate and cooperate after divorce. Following Kentucky's lead, Arkansas, West Virginia, Florida, and Missouri passed similar laws. 20 other states are considering it. The law isn't blind. It adjusts for abuse or safety concerns, but when fathers have equal access, the whole system becomes less hostile. Families stay together when both parents know they'll remain involved.
It's almost like it was set up that way on purpose. Because when someone has an advantage against an opponent, generally speaking, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. And who does that benefit? If two people are fighting and you need a mediator, who does that benefit? The courts, the lawyers. It's big business. But like the other clip was saying, yes, family court is big business. Don't get it twisted. But the bread and butter is the next generation. And if they don't have the next generation, there's no family court. So they got to go with their first line of income. They got to make sure that's protected. And they have to make sure to some degree that their people, which is us, are happy to some degree. Because women are definitely not happy about this. But they're going to have to deal with it because the men who were finally fed up with this had enough. They start speaking by being abstinent. They start speaking by not marrying women. They start speaking by going abroad and dating women, like Kevin Samuel says, that are fit, feminine, and friendly. And it did a 360 on the government. It did a 360 on family courts. So, yeah, this is what had to happen. And wake up, because it is a new day.
Guys, cut the bullshit. It's not the fucking Jews. It's the fucking women. Women have ruined society because we let them. That's what's happened. Unrealistic dating standards, completely unprepared to have children, so we have to import foreigners. Don't listen to anybody. Don't respect anybody. Have no fucking respect for what the average man goes through each day. No respect for what the average man provides. No respect for the roads and buildings we give them. No respect for the modern world we completely built for chicks. None of it. Instead, we let women get into power so they can run their mouths. This is one massive unchecked shit test. And it's America as a whole. It's a matriarchy. It's lost its mind. Study history. Unchecked females. Read about the Roman Empire. Once women gained power unchecked, what happened?
So I agree with him, but here's a caveat to that. Okay, so the caveat is that yes, I do agree with him to a degree that you let women into certain things and things will change. But I think the bigger issue is that the women who are logical, who are sensible, they're not saying anything. And I think that's the biggest issue. Because men are supposed to be the final line of defense, which we are. Women say they want to basically, police themselves and have this sisterhood. And we're fine with that. But when everything is just, willy-nilly and you let anything go, eventually men are going to have to step in. And that's what's going on now. So, ladies in the future, think about this. You can't just have unchecked women or men with power doing crazy things. And men are just getting fed up. They've gotten to the point to where they're fed up and they're like, you know what? Enough is enough. Whatever we have to do to combat this, that's what we're going to do.
Susan Bassey, and if you ever thought social media and cameras in a courtroom don't make a difference, you're going to want to watch this video. We reported on this case where a judge in Kentucky, where cameras are allowed in courtrooms, was seen taking custody of a infant child away from a father and giving the child to the mother in her courtroom with the help of the father's own mother. It outraged everyone.
What? Can you do that? I thought you had to go through like a whole Anyway, let's keep going.
Everybody so much that we continued to follow the case even after the mother hired the judge's own personal divorce attorney.
Mr. Gowan's already here.
Thank you.
Mr. Dodd is online, I believe.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this was motion to recuse, and then there was a need for a hearing date on respondent's motion to modify custody and parenting time. So I believe Mr. Gowan asked for this to be called?
Yes, Judge. I wanted to ask you and put on the record and ask you to reconsider the recusal motion. I understand that Mr. Dodd was your personal attorney. I don't know any particulars about that.
Videos that I posted on my social media platforms, along with the videos posted by Kentucky family law attorney Christine Miller, went viral, getting millions of views and tens of thousands of comments. And the day before this hearing, Christine Miller and I even published an article in the Davis Vanguard. And that just might have made a difference at this hearing.
Recusal motion. I understand that Mr. Dodd was your personal attorney. I don't know any particulars about that. I did get a copy.
So the lawyer that's the lawyer for the mom was the judge's own personal lawyer. Yo, that's crazy. Is that illegal? Is there any law against that? It sounds like there was some backdoor dealings going on, but whatever. Let's go.
Of the ethics opinion, but I don't know anything about when he represented you or anything like that to be able to make an educated argument other than I know at some point he was your personal attorney. And I believe there's actual factual information as well as far as how remote that was and how recent it was that would bear on whether there would be an objective person looking at this would consider that there might be the possibility of impartiality in this case. Also had set forth the fact that, as you're probably well aware of, there's been extra attention to this case and comments made on various social media platforms about the ability for you to be impartial in this case. I believe that should be considered. And then
This Kentucky family law attorney had to file a motion and ask the judge to remove herself from the case after it was found that her personal divorce attorney was representing the mother in the case.
Wow.
And no attorney should ever have to ask a judge to remove themselves for this kind of conflict of interest. And in California, we see that going on every single day when it
Wow.
comes to judges, attorneys appointed as minors counsel or private
You guys, I'm in California. That's wild.
judges, and individuals known as 730 evaluators or custody experts, forensic accountants, and even vocational examiners.
Social media did its thing, got a hold of this case, and everybody out there, everybody and their mother, from lawyers to social workers, got a hold of this information and did their own investigation and actually helped the father out in this case. Because a lot of people heard it and knew it wasn't right. Knew the father was getting railroaded. So there was an uproar on social media, and it affected change in the court. It affected the truth in the right judgment to be made. Isn't that something? Makes me feel like we should actually have more cameras in courts, right?
One state just nuked its divorce rates by doing one rare thing that the rest of America would never dare. They made 50-50 custody the default. If there's no abuse, fathers get equal time with the children, plain and simple. And the divorce rates imploded overnight in Kentucky. When women realize they can't weaponize the kids, they think twice before filing for divorce. And the system that runs on male disposability, well, when you take that away, suddenly irreconcilable differences doesn't sound so irreconcilable anymore.
Everything men have been talking about, especially in regards to divorcing and women divorcing them and just trying to get money, it's pretty much true. It really is. And I think if I really feel like this in my heart, man. I feel like a lot of men these days have come to the realization where they understand that your partner, the person you choose to spend the rest of your life with and be intertwined with, that's going to be the biggest decision that you're going to make in your life. And men understand this now, so they're choosing wisely. They're not just having kids with any random woman anymore. And women are slowly catching up, and they're realizing that if they have these kids with these men that they don't really care about, they don't get the benefits of just leaving this man and then taking his wallet with them. What do you guys think? Drop a comment in the below box. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you're updated for all cool new content. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I will holler at you guys later. As always, peace! You've made it to the end of this video, which basically means that we're best friends now. And best friends subscribe to best friends channels. And they like their videos too. So, I don't make the rules. It is what it is. You got to take that up under the Best Friend Act, code -7223-002. Write a subscription and subscribe.